Hey guys, Rexter here, and today we're going to be doing episode 2 of Land Here and Win. So, today I have a very special place for you to land, and it doesn't take a lot of skill, and my friends are probably going to be pretty upset with me when they find out that I released this information on this episode, but today we're going to be landing at the Motel. So, I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into it. I'm going to show you my tips and my tricks of how I've won literally 37% of my games by landing here. No matter if it's duos, squads, or solos, you will win by landing here, guys, without using much effort and having to fight very little opponents. So what I like to do is land straight here on that RV and start making my way through the motel, grabbing chests and guns as I go. Now listen guys, you don't want to focus too much on what you're doing in your inventory at the moment, because if somebody does happen to land here, you're going to want to get as many guns as you can, because that's one advantage that you have when landing in a motel. If you grab all the guns, there will literally be nothing for your opponent to attack you with. And guys, in squads, let's face it, you got to be greedy. Your friends are going to be coming after your loot, so just grab and go like you're at a daily cafe or something. Alright guys, so now, when you're done going through the motel, you want to make your way over to this truck. Listen first, because sometimes there's not a chest in there. Just press yourself up against the truck and use your audio to listen if there is one in there. When you're done with the truck, you want to start making your way over to these motels. Or, sorry, not the motels. To these, crack houses is what my friends and I call them. Whatever you guys call them, go ahead and leave it down in the comments down below. But we like to make our way over to these crack houses when we're done raiding the motel and slowly start getting loot from here. Now guys, you want to go ahead and do that to both of them, because a lot of people forget to go after both. They go with one and not the other. And when you're done with that, you want to slowly start making your way over to the third and final kind of hidden one, which is another place that I like to land if the motel starts getting too crowded. And I'll go ahead and get into that now. So if you see too many opponents landing at motel, you're going to want to land back here at this crack house. The reason being is because a lot of people aren't going to be expecting you to come up behind them. And you have enough opportunities right here with this chest and the guns down below to go after your opponents and attack them without them even realizing it. As long as you just farm the trees around you, you grab this tag, you grab an SMG, and you'll be in the clear to attack your opponents if motel gets too hot. Okay, so another place that I like to land if motel is too hot, or if I didn't get enough guns and I want to look for a couple more chests, is down here by the umbrella. Another tip about umbrella, for some reason, this is playground guys, I understand that, but for some reason there's always a llama near motel or near the umbrella or somewhere in between, whether it be in a tree or on the motel itself. Guys, I promise you, I did this 5 times to get my wins. I landed here 5 times, got 2 wins, and 2 out of the 5 times as well, there was a llama here somewhere in the vicinity. I'm not saying it was perfectly placed right on top of the motel, but somewhere just like this, next to the umbrella or whatever it may be. In addition to that llama chance, there's also going to be 2 chests for you guys to grab, and they're very easily and mostly uncontested. To be honest guys, 100% of the time, I never really see anyone land at the umbrella. Another place that you can land if you don't get enough loot is back here, which I just took a rift to and skipped ahead, but you can go ahead and take a rift or wherever you may be, even walk there, because no matter how far the circle is from you, you have the chance of landing at this racetrack and grabbing a couple more chests and being able to escape based off these little carts. Honestly guys, these carts have changed the way that this game is played. Instead of using so many rifts, or what did we call them? We called them crack rocks, but you can use them as jump rocks. Instead of using those, you're able to take these carts literally everywhere guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys an example of that later on when I show you how I won without literally seeing one person at all until the final 5 people. So when you're done looting this, take a cart if you have the time, guys. Now again, this is only if you have the time. Start making your way back to this factory, because at this factory there are, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4 chest opportunities just over here alone, and you're not gonna have to contest with anybody to get them. That is the great part about landing over here, because you're so far to the edge of the map that nobody is landing over here, guys. This is all free loot for you, and to be honest, even though it's not the funnest way of winning, the best thing to do in this game is get free loot without having to force yourself into fights and different battles and things like that. Free loot is the way to win. So the last chest at this area is back here in this truck, which I'm going to go ahead and grab now. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into the opponents, I guess if that's what you want to call it, part of Motel. So guys, There's not a lot of opponents here at Motel, but the ones that do land here aren't very good at the game. I'm going to go ahead and say that flat out. As you can see here, even though he lands this shot, watch this guy. He's just looking around for me, and he has a rifle out, and no way he's going to kill me. Another example right here is this girl right here. She's just building up and just shooting aimlessly, and she got 2 pumps to the face, no problem. This guy just jumping around and throwing these grenades, I'm not even sure, these smoke grenades at me, he has no chance of winning. So guys, like I was saying before, this is the game that I won, and I'm going to go ahead and walk you through my mind state of how I did it. Honestly, I didn't fight a single person until the last kill of the game. So this is my mind state, right? Like I said, I land on the top of the motel, and I slowly start working my way through, and I start grabbing whatever guns I can. Look, I have 2 assault rifles, I have a grenade launcher, and some balloons and whatever it may be, but really I'm just grabbing all this stuff so my opponents can't grab it. Then I start getting choosy with my guns. But notice, I haven't popped that big shield yet. And the reason I haven't popped that big shield yet is because I'm still listening to make sure that nobody is around. And I want to be able to grab all the guns that I can and leave my opponents with little to no opportunity to grab anything to try and kill me with it. So I work over it, just like I said at the beginning, work your way over to this truck and slowly start grabbing all the materials that you can. In this case, I have everything that I need for an early game fight. Whether it be a shotgun or this deagle, I have the deagle, I have the SMG, and I have the AR, no problems whatsoever. Now I finally get a shotgun, and listen, who cares if your stuff is all gray at the beginning, guys? I'm telling you right now, if you land back here at the motel, you're not going to find anyone anyways. So you have all of those chest opportunities that I showed you in the past to go ahead and get everything that you need. Now in this case, you can see in the mini-map that I'm pretty far from circle, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and hit up these quick locations, especially that racetrack, because I know even though I go all the way down here, all the way down there, I'm going to be able to come back without any problems or issues because I can just jump on one of those carts and boost my way back into the circle. So I head over here to this crack house. Unfortunately, there's no chest there, but I went ahead and picked up this turret, and you're going to see that that is essential at the end of this game, guys. So, again, you just want to be farming, not too much because you're not going to run into any opponents anyways, but you're just going to want to farm at least about 200 mats just in case that slight chance that you happen to run into anybody. But, like I said, it's not the most exciting way of winning, but if you're just grabbing what you need and just moving through and avoiding opponents, guys, I'm telling you, you will win every time. I know a lot of you guys left in the comments down below that you're not very good at this game and you haven't got your first win, and, you know, lazy and stuff like that isn't the best place for you because there's so many people that come. Well, let me tell you this, Motel is the complete opposite. You don't have to be a good player at all to win at Motel. You can go ahead and grab what you need, slowly start, you know, looting up without having to fight anybody and just getting yourself into a position to win by just staying on the edge of the circle. And you'll see that's what I do in this game right here. I've won many times doing this, and even though I don't play like that anymore, I felt it was important to show you guys how to win without, you know, having to go through so much of a hassle and dying so early in the game. So now, as you see, I've went ahead and skipped ahead. Now I have full shield. I have a big pot. I'm about to grab these smalls. So I will have a scar, a big pot, 3 small pots, and a grenade launcher. So I'm fully loaded in case I happen to run into anybody. With about 200 mats, I should be fine. So you go ahead and keep looking, and I notice that the circle now is starting to move. At 2 minutes and 33 seconds, look how far I am. But it's not a problem, guys. Even though you land far away, there's so many places for you to land. Look, I just got my shotgun upgrade there, and now 6 minis. So you can just go ahead and jump on one of these or take a rift, and you will get right back into the circle, which I'm going to go ahead and skip to right now. Okay, so guys, as you can see, now there's 5 people left. I haven't seen a single person yet to this point. And like I said, it's not the funnest way of playing the game, but if you can make it to this far without seeing an opponent, most likely you're going to win. You're going to be one of the only people that has 200 health. You're going to be fully loaded with shields, minis, whatever you need to go ahead and win the game, and you can just watch your opponents. Now, you got to be smart when you get to this point, guys. I could have shot this guy right here, but I noticed that the storm is right on my back, so I'm going to slowly start making my way to this rift. So when you get here, guys, it's very important. This is where things get strategic. You want to jump in a rift or whatever you can, whether it be a launch pad or whatever, and go straight to the ground because your opponents are going to be able to take shots at you, free shots at that, if you're not going down fast enough. So luckily this guy didn't see me, and I start making my way back to the edge of the circle but away from him. So there's 3 other people alive. I know one of them has to be over there because he was shooting at them. And now guys, I'm fully loaded with 6 minis, 2 big pots, and all I need is a shotgun and an AR, and I should be good. So my thought process now is to start making my way over to one of these houses. Whatever it is, as long as it's in the circle, I'm just going to start making my way and then keeping an eye on my opponents. This will keep you away from the risk. Look at that, I just gained 2 more rockets. It will keep you away from the risk of dying, but at the same time, you're able to keep your back up against the circle, which is always important because you don't want anyone sneaking up behind you. That happens to me so much, and I'm sure it's happened to you guys many times where you've gone ahead and got shot from the back. Unfortunately, you know, thankfully you won't have to do that in this, if you do this type of strategy. So the reason I put this floor above my head is because I heard somebody rift and I want to stay under it, hopefully luring them in, because if they do happen to land here, these walls are mine and I can go ahead and throw a trap on them without them being able to escape. So now I seen that the last opponent died. There's only me and 2 other people, and that is exactly the spot that you want. You want to go ahead and listen, and hopefully those last 2 people will start fighting each other, and as soon as you hear that, you want to third party that situation, and that's what I'm trying to hear now. I'm trying not to be one of those people in the last fight. So I'm listening, and I don't hear anything just yet, but I'm keeping my eyes out and making sure that my head is not peeking in order to get sniped. So now I finally hear the shots that I'm looking for, and I'm starting to move my way towards that fight. Now, again, guys, remember I told you that turret is going to come in handy. So I'm going to go ahead and place that turret. The last person gets eliminated, and watch how I keep this guy pressured up along the storm. That's why it's important to make your rotation early and often so people cannot press you, because now I have him right where I need him. I'm firing shots at him, he's wasting his mats, and he's already taken 40 shield. Now I know that if I get at least one more shot, that means he's down to 120 max full health. So thankfully I'm at 200 health, so I'm just trying to look for any advantage that I can and keep the pressure on this guy. I'm wasting all his mats. Notice that he went from wood to brick, so I know that he's running out. Alright, that's another 40 shot. So now he has no shield at all. Another 40 shot, and the shield is backing up. He's running out of mats, and now I know I'm going to get this kill because he ran out of mats and materials. And look, guys, 1 kill, very minimal effort, and you can just dance on your opponents and win the game without having to deal. And listen, it doesn't take an extremely gifted player, a skilled player, to win like this, guys. And that is what I want to bring you guys. All you guys who wanted to win without having to do so much work and having to get all those kills, this is the game and the place to land for you. So I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm going to be out on that. So peace.